Welcome to the Safety Third podcast. Today we have a very special edition as per usual. We have become the Trash Taste Podcast. That's right. We have a real set for the first time ever in our lives, except the garage set. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like the car when we were in your car.
Oh, the car one too. That my
Station
spine hurt for like a week after that.
That was a good episode.
What?
I didn't watch it.
I could feel that coming. Like, there is no way you watched it, and the only reason you bring it up is to insult me.
I did watch it.
You actually did?
Yeah.
You're like, what did I miss out on?
To insult you, it's my own podcast.
I can never tell with Nigel.
I watched it.
He and Jabril have a lot in common. Jabril does this thing where he's like, you can see he's got some like evil energy when it comes to the conversation, and you're like, what are you doing right now, Jabril? And then he does exactly what you expect, which is.
But you can't even ever really tell like if it's on purpose or not, or if it's like
Jabril or Nigel?
I agree.
Both.
Jabril, I think, is on purpose. Nigel, I think it's built into him. He's built
No,
different.
I did watch it.
Okay.
I saw the nugget get eaten.
Okay. And then you quit after that.
Maybe. No. I think I saw.
Okay, well then what happened at the end?
Yeah.
The podcast ended.
No, a special thing happened.
Got him. I gave Alan his painting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did. I did. No, but it's not because of the podcast. It's because I probably just got sidetracked.
By not listening to the podcast.
Now I can't tell if he's coming up with excuses for himself or to make us feel better.
I genuinely don't understand how.
Isn't
I
the whole point of a
finish it.
podcast you can like listen to it in the background?
Yeah, you should be like doing you watch whole movies while you edit. That's something I never understood.
Oh my God, we're worse than movies.
The fact that
Except, yeah, no. The only movie I didn't finish recently was the new Matrix one. I didn't really get what was happening.
What? I watched, but I was on an airplane, so I didn't
You
really
were
have.
forced to
I didn't really
watch.
have like an alternate.
But no, so it's like, I don't know. I just these past like couple of months don't count. Like I've not been like mentally present.
Well, speaking of the Matrix movies, we have a special guest today, Stephanie. That transition is
Oh,
nothing
that's
to
great.
do with
Thank
that.
you. Wow. I'm
computers?
associated to the Matrix somehow.
No, I actually didn't even get that far into it. I was like, that's what they do. They take a current topic and they somehow switch to a new topic.
Speaking of, yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's
We're,
such
we're
a
all
nice
here for the
set.
first time as well. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not
Comedy.
usually like
Is
this.
this not
yeah,
it?
It's not this
Oh,
nice
oh.
usually. You got lucky for this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Normally it's bad.
I saw one episode.
We did one where we were in a car.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, neither did Nigel.
No, I saw the parts that mattered. I saw the part where Alan ate the nugget.
Yeah, honestly,
Everyone else spat it out and you swallowed it.
Well, because the difference was I had eaten the live nugget first, like the fresh
live
one.
live nugget.
The fresh nugget.
Yeah,
and so
like the way you talk about food has me like seriously concerned.
I knew that the old nugget didn't actually taste that different. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's disgusting," and I was like, "This is actually like pretty similar."
Yeah, but it's
to like
the part.
a regular nugget.
You know that if there's bacteria there.
Oh, there's no way though.
It's like giga
mummified.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bacteria dehydrates, and then when you hydrate it, it comes.
Is that
oh,
true?
is that why I
Does
shit
it
my
work?
pants in the car? Is that why I shit my pants in the car?
I did too. I didn't swallow it either.
I don't know about there is some like small organisms that can like
The
it's
bear.
tried
It's
to
the
kinda,
bear.
Like,
What's
go
the
into,
bear?
like, stasis, and then they come back.
The water bears, the tardigrades.
Tardigrades.
No, but a lot of them do it. Just because, like, if they're like dry conditions, they can like go into stasis.
Yeah,
and
they
then
just
come
like
back.
shrivel up.
But I don't know any.
live
That's all I
nugget?
know. I don't know anything.
So
any specifics.
speaking of eating trash, we're on the Trash Taste podcast set that they've got going on in America, and these are all our microphones because they got all their crap lost by the airlines, and so we let
this
them.
is kind of like our set.
It is it's half our
Yeah.
set. We provided sort of the bare minimum, and then there's like very nice cameras. We use $800 cameras. These are like I think that's like a $5,000 camera plus a lens.
God.
That's all rented though because they don't have their equipment anymore.
Will this
How
make
long has
our
it been gone
podcast
for?
Better?
2 weeks.
I don't know.
14 days. So they flew from Japan with all their equipment, checked in, and they landed here, and their equipment didn't land with them, and they have no idea where it is.
Pro tip: so next time, get like a dummy launcher or a starter pistol, something that like is not a real firearm but counts as a firearm. Because what happens is, first of all, you have to lock it up in checked-in baggage with a non-TSA approved lock. Because the idea is they have TSA approved locks that they can get into with master keys, but you have to use one that's not on the list because nobody is allowed to get into that like case except for you. And once you declare that, it goes through an entirely separate screening process. So I've heard this as like a hack that like photographers use. They'll put a starter pistol in with their camera equipment so it gets treated better.
So the
and
only
then nobody
way
can get into it.
to protect your
Yeah,
equipment is
It's
with
with
a
a
gun.
gun.
Because guns
Literally
have
with a
tons of
gun, yeah.
rights. Guns have way more rights in this country than like other things.
So yeah, I guess
That's
Babies.
actually amazing. Yeah, so get a gun. You need a trash taste gun.
Yeah.
You could
If you use like a flare gun or a starter pistol, it's not a real gun, so you don't need like a license. You won't get in trouble. But the airline still has to treat it like that because it's powder.
Well, you could
actually.
probably get a flare gun in Japan.
Well, they were actually coming from the UK.
I bet you. I can't imagine flare guns are, because that's like an emergency thing for boats. Like, why would you not be
Yeah.
able to?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. They might make. I don't know.
We need to do
Laws.
that. In our Pelican cases, we need to make a little flare gun.
a little.
I actually have two.
Yeah. I have one too, I think.
I'm gonna say something right now, but we might have to cut it out. Okay?
It'll immediately cut to the next thing if we do. Or
Because I don't know. This is. Peter did this.
You don't need to name names.
Oh,
Well, I want to just make sure that it's not my fault. There's two flare guns in my house, and he.
I think that's illegal.
And I'm like, it's just in a box somewhere, and I'm like, I don't even have.
Yeah, I think.
Should I not have that in the house?
Here's the thing. Actually, I do think the way this works is actually.
Okay, I think I'm going to take a piece of aluminum that's in my garage and put it in the recycling bin.
yeah.
As long you just put them in two separate containers, like next to each other, but like with a wall in between. I think it should be okay.
But I am curious if it works or not as well. Like,
Only way we could find out is by literally committing a crime.
oh, I'm like, yeah,
Right?
If we cross state lines,
Then
We're
we could
like
do it.
really
fine,
close
yeah.
to Mexico.
You ever told anyone how you know all this?
I will in about 4 years. There will be a video in about
When the
4.5
statute of
years.
limitations
Yeah, there'll be a
expires,
video
I will
with an
explain
introduction about that, and then I'll have a free video.
Nice.
It's already done.
Nice.
This is the,
It's a little bit old. Everyone looks kind of young here, but
normally I'm like a week past deadline for videos. This is the first time where I'm 5 years ahead of the deadline for the video.
Have you ever committed any crimes, Stephanie?
This
Unknowing.
is a safe podcast.
Yeah, don't worry.
Knowingly or unknowingly?
So I feel like the way we commit crimes is usually unknowingly,
Right.
and then we realize that we've except the one thing that we did that we knew was a crime.
I don't remember which specific one you're talking about.
There's something you
that
did
was stealing the car, or stealing the golf cart, hot wiring the golf cart.
Oh,
that's
are we
fun.
going to talk about that? I mean, it's not even like no one knows which Airbnb
but
we were at, right?
You're adding more and more detail. I was gonna say because it's a licensed vehicle.
Right, street legal.
Do any
Then-
lawyers watch this podcast that could give us?
That is a crime. No, but it's okay if we're calling her. I wasn't there. First of all.
No, I'm like,
You were definitely
you were
there.
definitely there.
I showed up there
and I'm like, I'm 90%
afterwards.
sure that it was definitely a crime. I'm like,
But
99%
Alan, I showed up
sure
and you told me what you had done, so I'm putting my hands up. I'm innocent.
You're innocent?
Yeah.
You're gonna
but
get
I'm saying that
extradited.
it's definitely a crime. But if you admit it and you talk about it and joke about it, then it's okay.
I think the thing people are
Admitting it?
people are afraid to admit this, but like doing crime is really fun.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
depends on
I
which-
can't talk about anything because I don't want to lose my citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what can you admit? That? Oh,
they-
then you're admitting.
Wait, can
You
they
are
actually
admitting
take that
you've done
away? No. No.
It depends on what I did.
Wait, because
What?
that means they could take our citizenship away.
No, I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
then
It's
you'd be
different.
stateless.
It's
Is it different?
Yeah,
She had to
because
take
I
a
just
test for
became a
hers.
citizen like 2 years
I didn't
ago.
have to take a test. I just squeezed my
Oh,
way
wait,
out of a
yeah. Really?
flesh cave, and I got my citizenship.
I'm Mexican. They're harsher on us.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
lot
Well,
of it, yeah.
if they took yours away, where do you go? They just, what,
Yeah,
just
where do
toss
you
you in
go?
the
The
ocean?
mountain,
Yeah.
the ocean, 12
Yeah.
miles.
You have to live on a cruise in international waters for the rest of your life.
You get a free flight ticket. Yeah, they get it.
And
free,
you just
yeah.
get to pick where you go.
No, to your country.
What if I
Whatever
don't
that
have a
is.
country?
You don't even have a country.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, no, it's kind of like
How,
it's,
I mean, what if you
Are
show up
you-
with no documents or anything? Like you somehow
like
get
you're a
in-
stateless
oh, they'll
person,
assume.
yeah.
They'll assume if you look Hispanic, they'll send you to Mexico
Really?
probably. Yeah.
I wonder if that's ever happened.
Here's one example of like people who went and joined like ISIS and stuff.
They got
and then
their
like,
citizenship
there was a
revoked?
British guy, they revoked it. So it's like he's not allowed coming back, but he's not a citizen of the other countries. So he's just straight up, there's passport, he's not British anymore, according to the government. So it's like,
what is he?
he's a stateless person.
Pirate.
A terrorist. A terrorist.
A terrorist, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
terrorist. Yeah.
But it's like, you kind of just don't have documents, so you can't leave the country you're in. It's really hard to not belong. But then, like you said, they'll just be like, "What language do you speak?" And then if you sound British, they'll be like, "Well, that's where you were probably from."
I think I've heard similar things happening to people that, like, through clerical errors are, like, pronounced dead just in paperwork. And apparently it's very, very, very extremely difficult to become alive again once you've become dead in paperwork.
Or is it alive? Undead?
I think it's legally alive.
What's the difference between like dying and then becoming alive and then being undead?
I think one of them, like, a doctor's usually there to, like, say you're still alive, and the other one is, like, everyone, according to everything, you are dead, but you're standing in the office trying to, like, renew your driver's license.
And
like,
the clerk is
insisting.
like, "No, sir, you're dead."
Apparently that is, like, a really bad thing to happen. It does happen. Like, it happens to people rarely, but it does. And then once it does, it's like you're kind of fucked because you can't do anything when you're dead.
I feel like the assumption
you're actually dead. It's like you're dead, but you're just
you can't
roaming.
get a credit
you can
card.
always die again.
Yeah, exactly. You're just roaming the streets. You can't do anything.
Like, you can't, I don't know. You could probably, like, get a Dave and Buster's card, but anything, like, more official than that, I don't think you could get.
You need 2 forms of identification.
I mean, a Dave and Buster's photo ID.
You slowly hold up your Dave and Buster's card. I only have one. Is that okay?
Like, you couldn't even get a Costco membership because you would need a valid driver's license to get a
Driver's
Costco.
license.
But I feel like there's something like a base thing you could get, like the Dave and Buster's, and build your way up.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
it's like starting from a penny and buying a house.
Exactly, except with identity.
I think
Like
that
starting with a Dave and Buster's ID and getting my American citizenship.
Yeah.
it'll only take 15 years.
But if you
The
still have
entire
your
process.
license, who cares? You can get a Costco membership.
I feel
How-
like
why
if
would
you
they
lose-
They
care?
don't validate it with the state.
If you lose
Yeah.
your citizenship, do you also lose your license? Or can you keep your, like, if I went, this video's not going to get, they're not going to get How many times can we say the IS word before we get demonetized?
I know.
Does anyone have a definitive
Ian's
answer?
shrugging right now.
What if we, okay, if I went and joined
Is
is,
This is,
Yeah.
and I came back like 2 years later and they took my citizenship away, but I still have my driver's license, like, would I be able to use that?
Well, yes, until it
well,
expires.
use it
Okay,
where?
right.
You're not allowed
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
country.
And then when it expires, you cannot get a new one. That's the issue.
Right.
Just don't lose it.
I think if you were stripped of your American citizenship, not allowed in the country, and you were deemed a
Is member.
an
Yeah,
ISIS
is.
member,
No, you gotta say it slower. Is.
Yeah, it's two separate words. It's two entirely separate
I think
words.
I think your struggles are deeper than renewing your
This
driver's
kind of
license.
just makes me want to talk about is and
is.
like because now that I think we figured out a way to talk about it that YouTube will never know.
Yeah, is
like
because in
that.
the captions it's going to say is. It's
It's like
So
when
that's two separate words.
weed became legal in California. Like, I don't smoke weed, but it felt like my civic duty to grow a pot plant. Just like have a really like kind of just sad, slowly dying pot plant in my backyard.
Do you have that?
No, I was trying to for a while because it's like, you know, I have friends who do that, and I was like, oh, can I get one? I never pushed too hard, but I don't like, I'm not going to work really hard on doing it because
Yeah.
it's just like,
When I was a kid in Illinois, my neighbors grew pot. Just like a little plant. Wasn't like, it was just like recreational for them. They weren't like, but once like me and my friend realized it, we were like, holy shit, like this is, we were like, 12 or something. It was like the coolest thing ever. Cause it's like, we were like smelling, like, whoa, like this is real. And so what I did to kind of like,
it was like the front yard. How were you smelling? Or did you have like a
it was
shared
like
backyard?
in their garden.
in
like,
Illinois?
In the front, yeah.
Is that legal?
No.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Because it
We're
was like
still
one
talking about
plant,
illegal stuff.
and it was
Okay,
like
cool, cool.
with their other legal plants.
Classic technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I did to sort of commemorate it was I took one of the leaves, like one big, perfect, like t-shirt looking, like marijuana plant
Maple leaf.
Yes, maple leaf. And we had a really big dictionary at my house. And so I pressed it, like how you
Big
press like
dictionary?
flowers. Yeah, big. I put it under big dictionary in the dictionary, and I pressed it. And the thing is, that was 20 years ago.
You haven't opened it?
I don't think it's ever been opened. I never told my
It
parents.
for sure is
but
fused to the pages.
You don't think it's just like a flower is pressed? Like, because those will last a really long time.
If it's oily, it might be fused.
It might just be like,
well,
But if it's also been long enough that fused my, I don't know.
oh, it might have diffused into the rest of the
oh,
dictionary.
you
I-
think the
I'm
dictionary
gonna
can
make-
be smoked now? You can smoke the dictionary.
I'll put money
That's what
on
I'm
this.
saying.
I think that book probably got donated to a thrift store like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Some guy had like couldn't just like what the hell? It just-
Opens it up and there's just a
It's
pressed
just stuck. You think someone's been
marijuana plant
reading the
leaf.
dictionary in a way you would not expect.
Do you remember which letter you put it in?
I don't. No, it's Big Dick Dictionary.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a B, BD.
It was
BD
B
section.
or D?
How did you choose what page? I'm
Yeah.
assuming you just put it in the middle.
I might have. I mean, I was probably a cheeky little kid. Maybe I looked
Yeah.
up marijuana.
Yeah.
But that's. I never touched it, so it's either still there or it was donated, or I don't even know where that dictionary would be. But
Do you know if it was okay? Because then across from my house, my dad came home one day and he told us the news. There was just a giant weed plant growing out of the bushes onto the sidewalk. Like it was blatantly in the open. It turns out it was hemp though.
oh wait, what's the difference?
How do you know
It
the
does?
difference?
Yeah.
We brought an expert in. My dad.
smoked
My dad.
My dad.
He
An
cut all
expert,
the
my
different
dad.
parts off of it to turn it into a hemp plant.
My dad's friend came in. He looks at. He's like, "That's hemp." And I'm like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Trust me."
Wait, he went. Did he
No.
try it?
No. Because like hemp, I think doesn't. It doesn't look the same.
doesn't get you
It doesn't
high.
bud. It doesn't have like.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Like
of
it doesn't
the-
make the buds or like
Yeah.
like, there's something like about it where if you look at it, you're like it's not. And I think you can like. You can also like slice it with a knife or something and see like he checked the oil. I don't know. He
I
did some
think
stuff and he's
I-
like he goes if this isn't hemp,
Yeah.
he's like I don't think it's worth anything. He just and then the neighbors. It was an old neighbor. They just came and they de-weeded their garden with a hedge. And
I'm
then it
pretty
was just
sure
gone.
that weed is like genetically engineered. Like it's been selectively
Oh, yeah, just, like,
bred.
it's been,
and
like,
I think
ramped
it's
up.
basically the same thing, but hemp has been sort of like bred in the other direction.
Yeah,
or that's
just
kind
to
of like
be
your starter.
coarse and
yeah.
like yeah.
Oh,
Like
I
since
see.
weed was legalized, I mean
Yeah.
it's been like what 10 years or something now. It's kind of pretty close to after we got out of high school.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Canada, it's been like 3 or 4.
four.
Like,
I
it's,
don't know,
like,
I
fully
live in
legal.
California, California's industry really started growing. I feel like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
and
actually, yeah.
you know, like I don't like it. Makes me weed's not doesn't is bad. I don't like it. It makes like the business side of it has like created this sort of efficiency pipeline that hasn't really existed before, and so they've made it way more potent. And so, like I'm pretty sure
It's like
hemp is
maximum
like the opposite
potency.
direction, right? Where it's like almost no potency. And like, you know, recreational weed plants have been selectively bred for maximum potency. And hemp is just, it's literally the plant without the thing that
Yes.
most people grow it for. But the government doesn't care. They like classify it as kind of the same thing. I think there might be some deviation. Like I've looked into this a little bit, but it's basically like,
Diet weed.
But there's like
yeah,
hemp
yeah,
shampoo and
actually.
stuff.
You
right?
could get high off hemp, in theory.
you'd probably die
I
of
think
something
it'd be
else
better
before
doing an
actually getting high.
extraction. I think it's like in theory.
That's like saying you could get high off cocaine by snorting, like by grinding up all the money in the U.S. and snorting it.
Yeah.
Dollar bills.
Yeah.
No, it's like it's there's a reason no one does it, just because it's like
Wait, actually, how could
But there's-
you? Sorry, yeah.
No, I was thinking about cocaine.
I was gonna say too. Did we didn't even fully introduce Stephanie. We kind of just like said one thing and then just completely.
And then I said,
do we-
well, I was thinking about cocaine. But because there's a plant, and then this
Yeah.
processed powder. But the plant still gives you all the energy.
They used to chew the
All,
leaves.
yes,
Yeah.
all the energy.
All the energy.
The calories.
Like, yeah, you chew on the leaves. But anyways.
Whose idea? Was it your idea? Who was
What?
it? The idea. The greatest idea I've ever heard.
Wait, then it was my idea.
Putting,
Oh yes, thank
putting,
you.
Nice.
putting cocaine back into Coca-Cola.
I don't think I said that.
I don't think this was my idea. It might be my idea.
We can go somewhere and make real Coca-Cola.
Elon Musk.
He could. He did he?
Don't give
Is that
Elon
Elon
that.
Musk?
Don't give
idea?
him
Damn.
that. Ew.
No, because he was saying like he was saying all this ridiculous stuff. After he said he would buy Twitter, and he says I'm gonna put the cocaine back in Coca-Cola. He did say that.
That was an Elon idea.
I mean, I'm flattered that you think that.
No.
I was, you know.
There's no way it was an Elon idea because he literally plagiarized his like.
Well, keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it was
people-
your idea. You tweeted
Yeah.
it, and
People
then he.
accused him.
Exactly.
People accused him in that tweet
Yeah.
of reposting somebody else's.
That's yeah. He only he does not make memes that good. There's no way his memes are all bangers.
He
He's-
didn't even do PayPal, so
Yeah.
there's that.
I mean,
how could you do that? Because like you could do it, You could
But you
put.
just take
Put
cocaine
cocaine
and
back
put it
into
in
it,
Coke,
yeah.
right?
But if you were to sort of like show
be
it,
expensive.
how would you do that? Because I think they would get. YouTube would get butthurt. The problem would be YouTube.
Doesn't Coca-Cola have like a special agreement with the U.S. government that they're still allowed to use the leaves even though they don't actually
really?
extract anything?
I
useful
doubt
from
they
it?
I've
use
heard
in
that
no,
too.
I think it was New
Really?
Jersey. I'm not saying
Oh,
this.
okay.
It's like New Jersey or New York or something. Is one of their officially like government sanctioned places where I think they are allowed to extract the coca, like the cocaine from the coca leaves, because cocaine's used in dentistry and stuff. So I think that they.
I got it for my sinus surgery, and he told me not
Yeah.
to film it because I filmed the whole thing, and he's like, "Don't show this part."
Okay.
It was actually some sort of.
What's a local anesthetic? Oh, me first. Thank
Is
you.
this what being on a real podcast?
Wow.
Just drank the sticker.
This
Oh,
is
you actually got
fancy.
something. You asked for
Oh my
something
God.
different. You actually got it, Nigel. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
fancy.
We were like, we're gonna keep this
Fancy.
simple, iced
Oh,
black
here.
coffee all
Okay,
around,
so-
and Nigel's like,
yeah.
no, I want this one. What did you get,
What
Nigel?
did you get? It's something chai, right?
I was trying to think of something really fancy to say, but it was
That's
just an
way
iced chai
fancier
latte.
than-
Oh,
Black
it's
coffee.
fancier than an iced
It's a
black
pretty
coffee.
standard menu item.
Every time we go, like, get fast food when there's like a car full of people, like if we're just doing what we normally do, I mean, we did it in Florida and everything. It's just like, all right, guys,
I
are we
hate it
okay
so
with
much.
hamburgers? Are we okay with a hamburger? And then it's like 8 hamburgers, and it works really well. The instant everyone tries to do their own individual
It's-
order, it like
I hate
it's
anarchy.
it's in,
Yeah.
like, actually complete and total anarchy.
Well, so when someone goes, if you go, I want 8 hamburgers, 8 Cokes, like life's easy. But the person goes, no, I kind of want like a chicken burger. I want a Diet Coke.
No
and it's like-
onions.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out what each sandwich is.
and they're all yelling at the driver to say stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if someone has like a food allergy or intolerance, at that point, everyone does. It's like, all right, 8
Yeah.
burgers, none of them with onion.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
onion on all of
That's
them.
easier.
Yeah, it's like at that point, you just got to do that.
That was always the thing I hated when I would always be the designated driver, driving home friends after everyone's like, the worst is they're kind of drunk. And they go through a drive-through. I just stopped.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it
Speaking
anymore.
of fast
Nigel.
food,
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
let's talk about drugs more.
Oh, drugs.
yeah.
I just have one question for you. Would you believe me if I said that if someone said to you that they've never gone through a drive-through?
Oh god.
That they
are
live
we
in the
gonna-
US.
Oh my god, are we gonna talk?
Should we
I
not
would-
talk about that?
I mean, we could.
No, it's just a hypothetical question. Would you
Hypothetical?
believe
Okay,
that?
she
I
doesn't
would, I
listen to
would,
this
I would
podcast.
believe that.
You would?
And the reason,
Okay,
the
okay.
reason is because my friend, I should shout him out. My friend Zach, who works with us,
Hi, Zach.
he
Zach,
because he had a shout out on another podcast that never got posted. So
Oh.
I got
which one?
the Jimmy
Oh.
one. No, I mean, yeah, the one that went into the ether.
I'd say there's like 4 of those.
No, we should we say we had a full like 2-hour
Yeah.
Mr. Beast one that just disappeared.
Yeah, didn't the audio just not?
We'll
show
never
up?
record it inside.
Oh no.
But he also never sent his videos.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
never asked because you never.
That's true. That's true. You bring up a good point.
Either way, Zach is. Since I met him, he would shock me with things he's never tried. To this day, he's never had coffee.
No.
He says he doesn't know what it tastes like at all.
What?
Why?
No.
Why
He was talking about it
not?
at VidCon.
Really?
He's like, he's never tasted it. So
what, can you like make him like? Hey,
he
try
won't.
it?
He says it's part of his
Oh.
personality
Oh.
now.
You
Oh,
could
okay.
you could trick him, or even better, you could give him any brown fluid and tell him it's coffee, and he would just believe
But it was
you.
actually diarrhea.
But like
coffee
A
tastes
Coke with
shit.
cocaine.
This is delicious.
every time I hang out with him, not every time, it's gotten less and less. But he'll just pull out something. Like, I've never had this before. So I've gotten so used to just hearing. So you say you've never been was it you who's never been in a drive-thru?
Someone.
No.
A
Someone.
hypothetical person who doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I would not
believe-
believe it.
You would not? Yeah.
Because I feel like even as a kid, like everyone's been like the only way I think I could even remotely believe it is like a really rich person.
Okay. But
I-
even wealthy people, like their driver would
Yeah.
need maybe
Right.
get them their nanny or whatever. I don't
would be
know. Or
ex-
like your friends, like right.
Actually, in the town that I live, drive-throughs are illegal.
What?
I say illegal. I don't know why.
Speaking of illegal, let's talk more about drugs.
Yeah, let's go back.
I
to
just think
drugs.
they just think they look ugly.
Welcome to
Something.
the Addiction Third
So
podcast.
because of that,
No,
in my
addiction
city,
first.
there's no
Addiction
McDonald's.
Oh, we're doing the same thing again.
There's
Can we
no
just split your
restaurant.
audio?
What city are
Yeah,
you
split
in?
your audio. Two conversations at the same
Yeah,
time.
I
in
know.
different ways.
Exactly.
People actually like it.
It'll
They,
intercut
Well, I'm from
between-
Montreal.
no, you guys keep
Okay.
talking. We're having two
That one.
conversations.
Yeah,
and
this
we're
is
they're
bad.
splitting the
This
channels.
way- well, I think there are
Sorry.
some people.
No,
that
you
can
guys
get
talk.
bored.
You have a
Okay, yeah,
conversation.
let's
You have a
talk about
conversation.
whatever.
This is too much for me.
This is-
Montreal, right?
I can't do this. I can't.
This
I
is
can't.
trying to like work on something.
Right.
I think I would prefer
I'm the
like
same
this because
way,
it feels
actually.
like you're in like a coffee shop.
Yeah, you
It's
don't have
too
to
much.
focus on
Exactly.
one
trying to
thing.
Do you have
It's
that
like
audio thing
somehow
when-
more.
Yeah, I have
I just
that.
for like the
less
actual
distracting.
podcast
Yeah.
purpose,
You're
like
driving
it
you
hurts me.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That does make sense. That's why I don't
Yeah,
understand
no,
how Nigel
yeah.
watches a movie. You have to be playing two movies.
Okay, either way, it seems like they're committing to
Yeah,
it.
we are.
Yeah, they
You'd
just
have to
think
be in a movie
I'm
theater.
from Montreal, but like in
I mean, that'd
in
be
different
cool.
like
See, like,
cities
what would be a good parent?
in
Like,
Montreal.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not
Oh,
part
like
of
for
Montreal.
editing.
There's different
Yeah.
cities that like
Video and
de-merged
watching
from
a movie
Montreal,
at the
so they're I
same
guess
time.
they're
yeah.
like
Independent.
Like Teletubbies
independent?
and then like Silent Hill.
some
or
of them.
something?
Or if I say this one, if you could probably look it up and know where it is.
Double
They just don't have a
feature.
Yeah, yeah.
drive-through.
I think that'd be pretty good.
Because-
Or like
I don't know
hardcore
why.
pornography.
So there's no
And
McDonald's.
Teletubbies.
There's no fast food
Caillou
really.
and hentai.
Or it's not a big town, so you just have to go to the other ones if you want to go to like Wendy's, McDonald's.
I can,
It's all
I can
just
only
outside.
work if
But
there are
here's the
two
thing.
TV screens
Even
in front
though
of
there's
there's
fast
They're both
food.
playing
none
porn.
in
You have to
your
walk in.
town,
Caillou
you
and
still
one
have
is
been
playing
to one.
hentai. That's
Yeah,
the only way I
yeah.
can
Like house
concentrate
What about
on my
Caillou
So I'm saying the
hentai?
only way it would make sense is if you literally lived there.
Yeah, yeah. But
And
still,
God,
never
never leave.
Yeah, we
leave,
Caillou.
but it's only like it's probably only
Parody
it's not a very
podcast
big
parody.
place, so it's like it'd be very
Cartoon parody.
hard
I feel like there's a
to not
a
leave.
hand.
Yeah, yeah.
handful.
Okay.
How long do we? Well, how
Okay.
bad was this last time? How long do we let this go?
Hey,
people-
what are
This is
you
too
guys
much.
talking about?
I don't want to say it out loud.
Oh no! What you're recording?
Okay,
a podcast.
fine. Caillou hentai.
Yeah. Good. Just the
Okay.
assonance
Yeah,
of the two
yeah.
words.
She's disgusted with us.
she's,
She's like, save that for
she's holding
Connor.
back a puke right now.
Let's go back to the drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Something wholesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Family
I
friendly.
want to complain about drugs.
Okay.
You want why?
Do you know anything about the scheduling in the United States? The drug scheduling?
It's very well done. It's it's logical.
I wonder, do they have like?
And-
Is there a short description of like the drug?
What does that mean?
scheduling?
What
Like
does it mean?
the
weed
classifications?
is Schedule
Oh.
1, right?
Yes.
Or
all I
Schedule
know is-
2.
All I know is PVC is Schedule 40 usually. Sometimes you can get Schedule 80.
So what are the numbers or percent?
Stop, Alan.
So
Plumbing joke. Zing.
So how drugs are classified in the U.S. Schedule 1, drugs with no currently accepted medical use, a high potential for abuse. They are most dangerous drugs. I need.
So one
screen
is the
protector.
worst, and then like whatever higher numbers.
Right. So we're
Yeah.
talking Schedule 1 is like heroin,
Oh.
LSD, ecstasy, peyote, and then also marijuana.
It would be one.
And then Schedule 2 is drugs with high potential for
make
abuse,
any
with use potentially leading to severe psychological or physical dependence. These drugs are also considered dangerous. So it's like, it's just
Okay.
slightly less bad. And there's cocaine, methamphetamine, methadone, OxyContin, fentanyl.
That's
Adderall,
Schedule
Ritalin.
2?
Marijuana is above methamphetamine, OxyContin,
And
cocaine.
cocaine.
That's
That's
awesome.
bullshit.
Yes.
That's bullshit.
That makes sense. No,
Like-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
That
am.
makes sense? Why?
I'm all for rules.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
These are made up.
yes, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
made up.
yeah, yeah.
Like if you want to put weed on the schedule, like you know what's not on these schedules?
Alcohol.
Yes.
Alcohol,
It's like
yeah,
alcohol and nicotine. I think.
That
Like
makes
I don't
no
know.
sense.
No, but it makes sense. Like, the thing that doesn't. Sorry, the thing that I just keep joking and saying it makes sense, but it doesn't. The
See, that's the troll energy.
Yeah.
the Schedule 1 stuff. A bunch of them are psychedelics. Nobody
Yeah.
abuses LSD and peyote.
No.
No, that's why I was like peyote.
Like who's
Yeah.
the people who
Yeah.
do
That's weird.
are like few and far between, and they're already like. Like I've never met a single person who's like, yeah, like I guess microdosing is a thing now, but no one's like, yeah. I just like I just get blasted on acid daily. It's kind of like no one really does
Oh, yeah.
that.
I
Or
microdose
ayahuasca.
alcohol. I just every morning I just put a single 1 milliliter.
You also macrodose it, right?
Yeah, I macro and I micro. I put 1
Into my hot
milliliter of
chocolate.
vodka into my hot chocolate every day. I micro.
Into
it's
your
a
Fruit
lot,
Loops.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother. It's a lot gentler,
Yeah.
and you still get all the good effects
Right.
from alcohol by microdosing.
Right. Every
And-
sip he puts 1
Yeah.
milliliter.
There was a research study about if you stay at 0.02% of alcohol volume in your body, you can perform really well.
For like
for like anything social, for
Anything.
work, da da da. But I mean,
driving.
but then you build a tolerance, right?
Okay.
So
I'm
no.
an advocate of that like one shot performance
Yeah.
booster. I
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
genuinely
So you,
think
it's
yes.
the thing. It's
But
true.
I find
Yeah.
that
yeah,
with
yeah.
just like a lot, like alcohol, for example, like the one shot, like even though you don't quote unquote like feel it,
Right.
it does do something.
Yeah, that's
And
the
that's what
research.
that's
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
That's
like your natural response to stress makes you perform worse, and I
Yes.
don't quite understand. Maybe it's just your body's not designed to like go in front of a crowd of people and talk to them, and so when you're nervous, it's like it just makes you like
But
stutter or like read worse, or you kind of like breathe weird, or
I-
fidget,
But I
You
think
just
in,
need to, like,
in
not-
general, it's bad because like think about if you're like a caveman, and you had to like throw a
Okay,
spear at.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
You're a
I'm putting
caveman?
myself back. there,
Okay,
yeah.
Picture
Good,
that,
good.
and you only have like you're completely naked except for like just like a nice
Right.
like tasteful.
Okay, everyone's
loincloth.
staring at me.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
staring. I'm
Yeah.
a caveman, and everyone's staring.
Yeah.
At me.
Well, it depends where. In the north, because he might need more clothing.
No,
Okay,
it's
no,
it's just like
Yeah.
Aren't
and
you
he's
like-
also
Imagining
he's
it.
also
I'm coming up
super-
with excuses. It's
Yeah.
cold
Yeah.
out. It's just cold
Okay.
outside. I
Okay.
swear.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But you're also super ripped and muscular.
Right. But then,
Okay.
Okay, no, but I'm saying like imagine you've been stalking an animal,
Okay.
and you have one spear. If you miss, you and your two friends are all gonna throw, or a few friends are gonna throw at the same time.
Yeah.
If you miss, then it's like you kind of have to like follow an animal or whatever for a few more days.
Right.
You're gonna be nervous. You have like one shot.
Uh-huh.
It's like in that situation, you're gonna be shaking probably. It's gonna make your shot objectively worse. Like because I'm saying you gave an example being in front of people. I was like at the base level of just like hunting. I feel like your nerves don't help you there either.
I
But
think
here's the
I think it's
thing.
like-
Wait,
yeah.
here's the thing. Your first time, you're gonna be nervous. Then you build the tolerance. The same thing with alcohol. The first time you do the one shot, it's gonna work great. But then the 20th time, it won't work
I
anymore.
think if you do it consistently, I feel like if you do that
Yeah.
once a day, I think it'd be fine. Like if you
the
take
shot or
if
the
you-
hunting.
if you took one shot a day, I
Okay.
don't think you'd build up much of a tolerance to it. I think
You can also
are you
stagger
sure?
it. You can also but you can
I
also
am pretty sure, yeah.
if you do it like
That's
one
just
on,
your
one
body.
off.
Even
You're
Just like
okay.
how you build tolerance to the caffeine and then you need more.
But if you do one on, one off, you're okay.
One on, one off?
Yeah,
Like one
every
day off,
other-
every other day?
Yeah, every other day.
That's your scientific opinion? Because
I-
I'll follow your.
Because it
thank
takes
you.
because the reason you get a tolerance is because your body's reacting to like your new like
I
balance.
think
Give you a
I think
level.
tolerance also depends on how your body how it affects you, right? So like some tolerances might be like how
How does
I can
tolerance work?
explain.
how does tolerance work?
So there are two.
Well, the reason that research paper did not work was because it works until you build
Yeah.
the tolerance and you need more
So
and you need more.
the
and you need
tolerance
more.
works by
and then
two
you're an
ways.
alcoholic.
I think there are some ways your body reacts like immediately.
Again, I have a genetic predisposition for that too, or my family just had nothing to do when they were my age.
Mix of both.
Yeah.
Sorry. God, everywhere I looked, in my families.
Well, it also depends where are they from. Are they like are you
From a country that it-
Scandinavian?
yeah.
Yeah. There are research papers from Scandinavia.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a whole movie about it if you want to watch it.
So
Anyway.
do you ever use that to your advantage? Do you ever just do? Because I
did it as an excuse one time.
I will fully admit this. I did it once and it's bad, and I would never recommend doing it.
That's how you know a good
What did you
story is
do?
about
Yeah.
to come out
But
of his mouth.
it did also totally work. Was I had a video deadline, and I had the worst. Would you call it writer's block? You know, but it's like
Yeah,
editing
yeah,
block,
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I could not get over myself to just get a video done. And so I did like 3 shots of whiskey or something.
Yeah.
And then I just
We've all
I
done
like
it.
powered through it, and like
We've
the
all-
video ended
We've
up
all
being
done it.
the video ended up being
Yeah.
like pretty good actually. And like I would never tell anyone to do that. I would never
Except you
recommend
just
it.
did now.
No,
You
no,
just
I'm not
did.
saying that.
Don't
anyone
do
should.
it.
Don't do it.
But it worked.
But it works really
the one,
well.
The one time. The
It
one
worked.
time.
Alan goes, it worked. There were no repercussions.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
I made
amazing.
a
The
lot
best
of-
video.
The sponsor was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy. The audience,
but
was
never
everyone.
do it. It's
It
just
was, it was
don't
a
do it.
win-win-win
It was a lot of fun to
Nobody
do.
should ever do it.
Never do it.
I feel like we spent our whole childhood being told drugs are bad, and we're like destroying that with a single podcast. Like, we're not saying they're good.
But
Don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't.
No, they're terrible.
I'm just saying that
Unless-
the one time I got lucky.
The one
and
time
it
I
all
did
worked
do
out.
them,
Yeah,
it was great.
But he could do it one more time and then find himself just sleeping on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like
The gateway drug to
It was a pure
marijuana, one of the worst drugs in the United States.
Schedule 1.
Schedule
the
1.
Worst.
You will literally die.
But like, so I mean, that's like a thing in programming, right? Where it's like in what the Social Network, like they're partying at that
Social
house and like
Network,
doing
I love
shots
it.
and doing like programming. Like,
Yeah.
does that do you do that? Does that work?
Yeah, there's a term for it. I just can't remember
Getting
right
drunk?
now. Yeah, getting drunk while you program. Yeah, like you drink and you reach a point where you're like really good at it, but then as you keep
Yeah.
drinking, just like drop.
I have
Yeah.
this, like, I would say I have a problem. It has nothing to do with drugs or alcohol.
It's a drinking problem.
No, I have like, I don't know what it is or how to describe it. But it's kind of like maybe a little OCD when it comes to like designing stuff.
Okay.
I like everything to be very like parametric and dynamic, and it causes like decision paralysis, like
What
seriously.
does parametric and
Oh,
dynamic
yeah.
mean?
So parametric CAD is like it's basically making geometry that's mathematically described, and so you can say like I'm going to make a rectangle and it's going to be this wide and this tall, and then you make that rectangle and you extrude it to a block and you say I want it to be this long, and then you change your mind about the original dimensions. You can go back, you can change the size of your square, and then it will change and it will update all the way through. So you can sort of like you can create like a pathway to what your object is that you're making on the computer. Unlike, like animation modeling in Blender, where it's like you're just sort of warping polygons and you can't go backwards, really.
Yeah.
And so I don't like making decisions, and that happens in CAD. It happens while editing. It happens like just those are like I think the biggest effects in my life. It's like
I think that's sort of like one of the things that you showed me that I do now. It's like whenever you're at kind of like the decision tree,
Yeah.
you just duplicate the timeline.
Yes, while
and that way
editing,
you can like just remove all of that pressure and just do
Right.
whatever you want to do.
and always go back.
I
Yeah.
started
think-
doing that, and the other thing you said when you were showing me that, you're like, yeah, you just duplicate it, and then you never go back.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
have it there to make you
Yeah.
feel better,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
you never
Yeah.
end up actually
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah.
And I totally do that.
I
now.
think you need to learn how to make decisions and move on.
Well, that's one of the
Yeah.
that's
No.
one of the
knowing
ways
No, but
to
I
do
agree
it.
with that.
knowing
'cause-
there's a way to go back, you're not making a
No.
decision.
It's just like it's just
You're-
like
you're like hitting me.
wait, it's just like version control.
We need
That's
our shot
why.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's just like version control. I've done that with my timelines as
safety
well.
net.
It's a safety net. It's just like
I
I
do
know
that,
I did
actually.
this. It's great, but I'm gonna move on.
Son of a
Yeah, there you
bitch.
go.
You son of a bitch.
Now I actually.
sorry.
That's what we need. Violence.
sorry,
Violence is
sorry.
the answer.
Yes. So yeah, version control.
I think that sometimes doing the timeline duplication is helpful because it lets you sort of be more aggressive. It's like back in the day
Yes.
they'd have
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah,
of
yeah.
kids because they knew a bunch of them were gonna die.
Yeah.
And so
Very good
if
parallel.
you duplicate your
Yeah.
timeline, you can just start tearing
Kill
things out. You can
everything.
just
Kill it.
murder
Yeah.
your video.
I would say-
like it feels bad, but you don't have to feel bad.
feels
'cause you can just-
great.
well, yes, because you know you can always go
But
back.
but
like it,
I have a
yeah.
point to make. For me, like I
You don't
say,
have to tell us. You can just say your point.
I need to say something right now.
Yeah.
Tell us your point, Nigel.
I think that the intention is what matters. Like, if you're making a separate timeline because you have decision problems, I think that's not good. I make a separate one, like a separate save, because like what you just said, if you're going to completely change it, there's a chance that when you completely change it, you look at it and go, this is 8 times worse than what it was, and you go,
Yeah.
well, I can't go back now.
But that's
So I'm
what the
saying that, like-
timeline. That's what timeline.
No, I'm saying that,
Yeah.
but the reason for that is that's like a logical reason. Whereas if you're kind of like,
No,
I can't decide
no,
if I
you're
like
doing
this.
the exact same
kind
thing
of
that
is.
we're doing. You're
Yeah,
doing
but-
literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, but-
only you're feeling more like better about it.
But you're
Yeah.
wrong, Alan. The difference is you're wrong.
So like one of the things that I had to do this yesterday. Somebody else like the car video. It's almost done. I'm just trying to I'm
Really?
trying to fix the
Is
intro.
it
Yeah,
actually-
It's actually it's like it could be done today. I just am not super
I've
happy with the
heard
intro
this
still.
like
I wanted to be
It's
done
very
tonight,
close.
so I don't have to
I worked
see
on it
it.
all yesterday. Ian was working on it a little bit, and so he sent it back to me because Premiere has like a horrible like group project.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they have it, but it's like I don't touch it. It's a nightmare. And I was working on it, and I made an aggressive edit, and I hadn't duplicated
Yeah.
the timeline, and I only had, because by default, God forbid, cloud-based software doesn't save any setting you've ever made in the past, defaults
Yeah.
to 32 undos.
Oh.
32
And
what?
also
Undos.
undos. And also, God forbid, your software have a preference window that doesn't have the ability to change the undos, because you have to open the history window so that you can go into the history window settings to change the number of undos, because God bless Adobe and their subscription service that somehow I think has made their software, what's it called when you your muscles deteriorate, atrophy?
Yeah.
That's Adobe.
Yeah.
That's atrophying.
I don't use any Adobe.
You use cloud saving on Adobe?
No.
Do
No, I'm
not.
just saying that it's cloud-based software that doesn't take advantage of cloud-based features to like save your preferences and stuff like that. But long story short, I had to open both project files at the same time. I had to re-download what he sent me, open both projects at the same time,
Oh, no.
and then you can copy. Once you have both projects up, you can copy from one to the other, and then I close the other one because it's just like the whole undo thing. So it does cause problems if you don't duplicate. Like it does. It's like I do sometimes go back. Or
Yeah,
sometimes make very
sometimes you're
aggressive
like,
edits,
shit,
where it's like, actually, I like that better. Because you saw me editing last night,
Yeah,
and I did that.
No, you do go back and forth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one thing that I do too, which is I think it actually saved me a few times. I use because I work off the NAS, like the server drive, and I have an auto backup that just runs constantly.
Yeah.
So it auto backs up my project files. So whenever I've done a project, if you go onto the server, there'll be like 300 previous versions. No,
Yeah.
but they're like 25 kilobytes, so it doesn't matter.
Oh.
But I've had it before, so I don't even need to make duplicates, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and I'll just an hour ago it's already. I can just download the project file I had an hour ago.
You could, but have you done it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we've lost it too, because there was a mess up where I had it open on my computer, and then my friend who's editing had it on his computer, but he didn't realize it was open on his, so I did all these edits.
No.
And then he went on his computer and went to go shut it and went save.
That's why.
And I was like, no, you
Yeah.
just deleted my day
That's
of work,
what I
but
hate.
it's all saved on the server.
Premiere does do autosaves every you can
No, I'm
change
saying,
it
but
to,
he
like,
had
15,
just the
10 minutes.
instance open of an
Yeah.
older project, so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
saved over mine.
Yeah,
And I'm
but
like, did you-
Premiere does save project files every
Yeah.
like 10
Yeah,
or 15
but I was
minutes.
like,
so you can go
Final
in.
Cut also.
It does
does
this.
like
But
that.
it was
They
on the
probably
server, so
all-
I just
they
pulled it
should-
out.
They should
They
all
should.
do it.
But I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
The server backup has saved me a few times.
In
And sorry, some files have gotten corrupted too randomly, and then
Yeah.
it's all backed up too.
the only the super professional engineering company I worked at, which was a nightmare. I'd rather work at like a more casual
You're like,
one.
which was
That had like PDS. It was like SolidWorks. I think it's called PDS. It was like product. I don't know, man. But you have to check files out.
What does that mean?
So if you want to work on a file that's on the server, you have to like grab it, and then it locks anyone else from touching it. And so you can't. There's no like simultaneously
Yeah.
working on it like you can do on Google Docs, which works
see.
really
That's
well.
so-
Google
No, I
yeah,
just-
Google
I
Docs
just-
is great.
We just
Yeah.
yell in the office, going like,
That is so
it's
funny.
like everyone get off this project. I'm on it now.
I really
Efficient.
I really wish we could use like a Google Doc style editing
Yeah.
in video editing software, and like
Yeah,
Premiere,
that'd
like
be so
Adobe says they
nice.
have that, but like the one time I tried to use it, none of my plugins worked.
Ugh. Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out why. Like we have the sync plugin called Pluralize that takes like multiple audio tracks and video tracks and will match them together. So if you have like a bunch of footage and like you have like an audio recorder on you, it'll like line the videos up on the audio recorder.
Yeah.
It's super
Yeah.
helpful.
That's cool.
And it just wasn't working. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I tested it again, and I realized, it took me like an hour to figure out that it was the
An hour.
collaborative project that was breaking the plugin. And so it's like I don't use. Do you use Adobe? Who
No,
uses
I don't
Adobe?
use any.
You don't use Adobe.
I
You've talked.
boycott that
I
shit.
tried to defend Adobe a long time ago. What do you
Really?
use? Deb?
He stops. He stops.
Anything but Adobe. I avoid it at all costs. It's
Oh,
like
you
a
don't-
virus on your computer.
You don't want
Like
to keep
that.
paying forever to use
Not
the
just that,
software.
but the software sucks. It's a virus.
I pay for it,
Yeah.
and I don't use it.
No, I don't
It's
use
bad.
it.
I just use Photoshop and
I don't use that.
Media Encoder. and
I'd
some
rather
other
use shitty Inkscape than.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember the podcast. I feel like I've talked about this before. I'll keep talking about it forever until some very rich person listens to this podcast and gives me money to do this. If I had a bunch of money, remember the podcast we talked about? Like if you ever had
How much is a bunch of money?
Yeah.
Because that could be like $120.
Yeah.
$100 million.
Ooh.
That's a bunch.
That's a shit ton of money.
Okay.
That's sort of like
Okay, so
you-
the difference between
$100 million.
bunch
Like you could do anything with $100 million. Almost anything.
Yeah.
Except maybe buy a yacht.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could buy it, but then you wouldn't be able to maintain it.
Or have
Okay,
a crew.
just let it rot in the ocean.
Yeah.
So with $100 million, you wouldn't buy like an epic boat. You'd
No, I would.
you'd
I would
design a software.
I would
That's so
demolish. I would
lame.
demolish every single software company that pisses me off with their like A
Is
subscription
that
service
enough
and B
money
shitty software.
for that?
I think so.
though?
I think
to
so.
demolish.
I think so. Yeah.
Adobe's pretty
$100 million?
chunky. I think Adobe's quarterly revenue is
No,
like.
no. But if you make it like Blender.
Oh no, you have to make a competitor.
But
Yeah,
Blender
yeah, yeah.
was open source
yeah.
for like forever.
Yeah, and it took a long time, but it was like they
Yeah.
didn't have a ton of money going into it.
If you have a lot of money, just because you have money doesn't mean you can make it faster and better.
I agree.
It kind of does though.
But
No, it's like saying you can have 9 women have a baby in 1 month instead of 9
Wait, you
months. for
can't?
I
one
think that would
pregnant
that's a great YouTube video.
yeah. Okay. Let me explore that.
In 1 month.
There's probably
9 women can
there-
have a baby in 1 month.
There
Alright.
probably is a way to do it.
There is, like, that is the thing that you always say
everyone
in
will
software. Okay. Let's explore that.
I guess you would have to get really funky with like Sonic Hedgehog genes, right? Like
Okay, Alan's going right into
no,
it.
no, well, because
What,
that's
the
what they,
SHH?
well,
If
no,
anybody had any idea of how that could possibly work, it would be Alan.
because
Yeah.
it's the,
Well, what are the
Yeah.
Sonic Hedgehog genes?
so Sonic
Is this Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's Sonic Hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog is the Hedgehog, the video
Ooh,
game.
I think this is just hitting.
Oh yeah.
The drugs are hitting.
Different. You microdosing that caffeine.
Macro.
Sonic Hedgehog genes are the genes that control.
Symmetry.
Oh,
No,
yeah, it,
yeah.
it controls essentially like what parts grow into what.
Yeah.
So it'll like tell your cells like in this part of the embryo it becomes the leg stuff. So like turning Sonic Hedgehog genes on and off can essentially like delete limbs or like make them grow larger. I've been looking into snakes a lot.
I was thinking about the Nintendo running guy.
no,
What are
no, no,
you
it's
talking
different. It's
about?
different.
No, but it was named.
Not Nintendo, Sega. Sorry.
It was
You
named
can make your limbs
after-
larger.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was named after Sonic the Hedgehog.
Any limb.
What?
Yeah, so here's the thing. In snakes, pythons specifically, their Sonic Hedgehog genes are turned off.
You can
their
make your
legs.
snake bigger.
So here, you wonder, it turns out they do still have
Yeah.
a couple Sonic Hedgehog genes for their legs.
They
So
just-
like in the embryo, the legs like start, but they don't finish. Do you know what their Sonic Hedgehog genes are utilized for now? Because like in evolution, everything gets like reused and
Yeah.
repurposed typically. It isn't entirely thrown out. So by attaching fluorescence to certain gene
Yeah.
markers, they were able to find out that pythons have recycled their leg Sonic Hedgehog genes into growing their penises bigger. So the embryonic phallus glows when you look at the leg Sonic Hedgehog genes because those like growth signals turned into their phallus growth signals.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Is a chance. So if you could somehow finagle 9 women to each in the period of a month, like essentially using all the uterus resources instead of trying to make the whole baby at once, you just like turn the Sonic Hedgehog gene so it's like you're just making the arm. You're just
Holy
making
shit!
the arm.
This is like IKEA.
It's like Exodia. So you have each of the 9 women do one section of the baby, and after a month, you just
Assemble. But I don't think that makes a live baby.
Oh no, this sounds awful. Alan, no.
I think there's a chance because it's like if you have
Maybe
woman
one
that
day
gets-
science.
Anyway, send
will-
us an email at exodiababy@gmail.com if you're wanting to participate in this questionable, no, not even questionable, unethical,
Unethical.
unequivocally
This is black and white.
But here's
unethical.
the thing, though. You need more than 9 women because is it per organ? Like, I feel like the woman that gets just the head is going to be a lot more
I think even if it
resources.
took like 100
Like-
women, it would still be really impressive to do it in a month. It takes
Yeah,
100
yeah.
women to make a baby. in a
One
month.
woman does the liver, the other one does the kidney, the other
Yeah,
one
and
does
then
the
you just
brain,
kind of
the
assemble it.
skin.
And I feel like just because of the like how
So you have to zip it on.
the plasticity of like a fetal thing, I think it could.
A fetal thing? It's
Yeah.
a baby, Alan.
No, it's not a baby at that point. You just stitch it
A
together.
fetal thing.
And I think like the stem cells would do. I think also if all the parts you were putting together were like a genetic match too. I don't know how you would do any of this.
Or you
No.
could wait, no, hear me out. Another idea, because you mentioned stem cells.
Yeah.
If you,
It's actually
this
steam
is kind of a
cells.
this is kind of a loophole, and
all
you're
right.
gonna hate me for saying this. Could you have 9 female scientists use science to grow a baby
I
in a
see,
lab.
I see.
I'm pretty
So it's like
sure.
the
I'm pretty sure they have to.
It's a
use
loophole.
science.
It's a loophole.
I like it. I like that better. Sorry.
Like they're
That-
not
you
using
can use that
themselves.
I
one
can
now.
use that one.
They're growing
Do
it
you
in
think
like
the
a
baby
dish
would
or
grow
something.
faster if you put? No, you know what? Never mind. I'm trying to
This
bring it
is-
back to drugs, and it's
Oh,
just
drugs.
not.
Well, speaking of drugs, this
Yeah.
is great.
Yes.
This is great. Caffeine.
You've been doing a lot of biology, Alan.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I was
How do you
looking
know
at
so
snake-
much about snake penises?
I was looking up snake penises
Snake
on
phallus.
the internet.
Snake
Snake
phallus.
'cause
phallus.
it's
Snake
technically-
snake.
They're technically not penises. It's different.
What's the difference between a phallus and a penis, Alan?
I think functionally it's kind of like because they're reptiles. It's more of like it's almost like a specialized cloaca. I think
What's a cloaca?
cloaca is
Don't
like
do
what
the don't do the hand thing.
birds, what like birds
Yeah,
and
like-
dinosaurs and
Don't do that.
reptiles.
No, I
it's
don't.
it's
No.
a it's a multi-use hole. It's one hole.
A multi-use
that does
hole.
pee and poo and baby stuff. It's
Oh.
all one hole. That's why like when you see bird poop, and it's like kind of like birds don't pee. When
No,
birds
it's a mixed system.
yeah,
They
when
shart.
they excrete, they shart. They always shart because that's how
Only
they
sh- only
liquids.
sharts.
But they shart, and it's the same hole where the eggs come out of, and it's the same hole where the sperm goes into.
That is a like civic engineering disaster.
It's
Could you
so
imagine the
efficient.
elementary school being like literally also the poo processing plant for the city? It's like you have a classroom and then a septic tank and then a classroom
And a farm
they're
and a
like they're like
grocery store.
yeah.
But
Yes.
I feel like that system's more efficient for the birds.
Yeah.
Space wise.
Yeah.
No, actually, because I was looking it up. I actually was like, I searched it because I was like, I feel like it's more efficient.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're- how do I get a cloaca?
No, because
I just
birds,
searched
they just go.
Of
They just,
all the things that you could do, that would probably be the easiest to convert. I guarantee.
So I'm
it.
saying like,
Rerouting
birds
all
Yeah.
are
holes
just
into one
efficient.
hole.
100%.
Like mammals, it's like they got to take their time to go to the bathroom. Birds are just like on the go.
Yeah.
They don't. So I looked it up and I was like,
Have you
I was
been
like,
shit
why?
on?
I was like, why did mammals develop that?
How do you know I'm not peeing right now?
Yes. How do you know I'm not pooping right now?
I don't. I'm
definitely
assuming. Big assumptions.
Starbucks coffee.
But
It'll
I
make you
looked it
shit
up.
yourself.
By
and
the
I-
way, do we have napkins?
I didn't get a real answer. But the thing that I think I read it. Okay,
Yes,
there's a lot of
this
things.
is insurance policy.
No, is that the bird system, because it's so because it's mixed and the pee and poop are all mixed together and it's quicker. I think it's like they don't absorb nutrients as efficiently. So like the mammalian system has super long intestines and everything.
I
So to have it sit there for longer,
Yeah.
they said if a bird doesn't eat every day or so, it dies. Or something. It's like they have to be constantly having food because their digestive system can't store if you don't eat, you're still absorbing.
I mean, if I don't eat,
Right.
I also die.
but I'm
like a day.
But you're still absorbing food
Like-
from something you ate like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
you think that has anything
Whereas
to-
like the birds, it's like right through them. So it's like if they don't have it, there's nothing. They
they
go
need
into
to have, like-
starvation.
they have like
Okay.
gizzards and stuff, and some of them like have to swallow rocks
Yeah.
to help crush because
But-
they suck.
For like mammals, it gives them more time to
Birds are
find
built
food and to
different.
get more complex
In a
forms
worse
of food.
way.
Whereas birds, I think that's why birds are always like chickens and stuff. They're always just pecking around looking.
Does it help them
They
stay
don't
lighter?
have time to
We
just
saw
chill.
geese eat shit.
Oh, the geese?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were
yeah.
literally eating
We,
their own shit too.
We were
They're,
playing.
they're hungry.
Really?
They don't have much time.
they're just
but that's
eating
why there's still
anything. Yeah, yeah,
nutrients in
yeah.
it, I think, because it goes through them so quickly. Maybe.
Because we were playing.
I'm not a bird biologist.
Have you ever
I
heard
don't
of
know this.
Untitled Goose Game?
Oh, yeah, I've
that
seen
it. Yes.
became really big like early days of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So me and Stephanie were playing Untitled Goose Game.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Untitled Goose Game. Yeah, so it's a really
Yeah,
great
it-
game where you're just a goose terrorizing this small
You've
town.
seen
of
it.
people.
There's no way. If
I
you're
think
on
I've
the
seen
internet, you've seen it.
like videos and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So we were playing that, and then we were kind of like, well, it would be really cool to do this in real life. So we went outside.
We found some
We
geese.
touched grass, and we found a bunch of geese and just started feeding them.
Yeah. They're very aggressive.
They were angry. They would like fight each other.
They didn't thank you for the food?
No, and
No.
they were really like I want to say racist against the ducks. Them
Yeah,
and
they
the
were
ducks
really
didn't get
mean.
along at all.
Specifically the little black duck.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes, yes.
They were actually
yes,
noticeably picking on one duck.
Yes. I don't know why.
Well,
The
it was
little-
really
yeah,
because
yeah.
Because he's small and
Geese
It
are
was little,
racist.
Yeah, the
and they're racist probably.
Oh, that's the
they're
title of this
huge.
podcast: Snake Dicks and Racist Geese.
Yes, please.
snake phallus. Snake phallus.
Snake phallus and racist geese.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. We could do that, right?
Hey, Liberty.
Does YouTube get mad?
Yeah.
Oh, you actually need.
Yeah, I'm very
Oh, we actually
safely-
peed ourselves.
I actually peed myself. I'm sorry. I would get up, but my
Yeah.
legs are numb, and I'm peeing.
Well, 'cause so I mean, don't people tell you you're not supposed to feed geese bread, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is they
Or
fucking
rice.
love bread.
No, I think,
What kind of argument is that?
Giving them bread, they fucking love that shit.
no, I think they say that for different reasons. Like it's just bad to feed the geese because then they like become dependent.
No, they say you're not supposed to feed like pigeons rice and stuff or something because like
'Cause
it
they'll
sits in their
explode.
stomach. I think that's just like a thing that I don't think that's
that,
like.
dude. Honestly, half the stuff that anyone ever tells you is just bullshit. Like there's no reason. Like if like. You know, have you ever read like any of the pop culture magazine stuff where it's like red wine has antioxidants and like if you drink a
Oh,
glass and then
yeah,
like
yeah.
2 weeks later it's like drinking a glass a day can do this and it's like
All the
it's
stuff my mom believes.
Yes,
Yes.
it's like I feel like half that stuff is just like pop culture
Well, there's
or like urban myths
pop
or
science,
Pop
yeah.
science.
But I think there's a
Pop
classic
science.
like I think
Goop.
my friend
Goop?
showed it to me.
Goop. Yes, goop.
There's the
Goop
stuff where they
review.
say like drinking coffee or like just red wine too. They're like drinking red wine can make you live longer. New study shows, and it's like new study shows that drinking red wine
Yeah.
is related to cardiovascular disease and early death.
Yes.
You're just like, but the,
insane.
the answer is it's much more complicated. You can't just be like, oh, I drank red wine, I'll live
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
It's like it's a much more like it could also be associated with those things.
Yeah.
But as a whole, it makes like a large population live longer, but it also makes 10% of them die sooner.
Right.
I have to. How is it
Yeah.
unprofessional if I just use the bath? I have to pee so
It's
bad.
Okay,
very
yeah.
unprofessional.
And I feel bad.
Here,
I don't know where I
Alan.
sent Liberty to. Like, I feel bad. Sorry, you know.
All right, this is where we just have peeing sound effects. It sounds like I'm peeing in Will's mouth.
Oh,
Wait, I'm
God.
gonna be right back. Don't end
Okay,
the podcast
bye.
without me.
Yeah.
How do we
If
go
you
with
see
that?
Liberty,
Now-
say,
no,
I'm
see, this
so
is-
sorry.
I feel like we
I'm
have to
so
do a thing. Like, if
sorry.
someone
Oh,
leaves,
I'm
we
so
just-
sorry. A towel?
We're out of paper towels, so here you go.
I don't need it. I didn't pee. I meant like to blow my nose. But okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is my back? No, I don't have any.
Okay, I'm not gonna
Normally
blow
I
my
have
nose
pocket
with
napkins.
Yeah, you just blow your
I'm
nose
not
into
gonna
a
put my
towel. Here, have it back.
You have tissue, like toilet paper?
Out toilet paper.
Yeah, toilet paper.
Just get Alan to bring it.
I'll just text Alan. Oh, is that his phone?
Uh-oh.
Now's the time to talk shit about Alan.
Oh yeah. Okay. What do we say? What do we say?
Well, I was
Sorry,
already
hurry.
talking,
Shit?
like, yeah, about Alan, because
Oh.
I texted him a very nice text message a couple months ago.
What does that mean?
I said, hey, Alan, it's been a while. I haven't talked to you. Like,
Aw.
we haven't spoken. Like, I hope things are going well. And he just never replied.
I mean, yeah, that's Alan.
Did he ever get it?
Oh, he said, he goes, oh, I read it. He admitted. He goes, I read it. I just didn't reply.
And that makes
I-
me feel better.
I have horrible problems with like cell service reliability.
Oh, really?
Alan,
Yes.
he had 2
Oh.
months of
Like-
bad cell
2
reliability.
months?
Yeah, like somebody was telling me the other day that they like call me and I was like, I'm not getting calls.
No.
They would say go straight to voicemail. Like
That
I
happens
don't
sometimes.
understand. I mean, I do understand. It's just laziness. How technology that has existed for this long,
You have an old crappy phone, too.
you could probably just go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go blow my nose.
Are you gonna blow your nose?
Yeah. I'm gonna-
Okay.
Just do
You
the,
can
just
talk
suck
shit
it
about
back.
me now. Yeah. What?
Oh wait, we got a
yeah,
tissue coming.
thank you.
Emergency tissue fly in.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
How would how do you feel about drone delivery if we had a drone fly in with this toilet paper?
That'd be cool. It'd make it, the whole room would be windy, but
Oh, it feels so good. I've been holding it for so long. You know when you feel it right there, you're like,
You know when you have like a
That's-
real good shart?
Yeah, but in your face.
thank you. But in your,
Face
in your
shart.
nose, it just feels so good.
Face shart. What did I miss?
That we're
Catch
talking
me
about
up.
you and not texting back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm really bad at that. I'm
I
so
have
sorry,
a trick.
Reliability.
I have a trick.
don't text Alan.
Don't open the message.
What does that do?
Yeah, I don't
Right,
open it
yeah.
until I'm ready to
It's
reply.
like don't
Oh, right,
delete the
right.
notification and don't open the message.
But if
until
you
you're ready to
delete it accidentally, the notification, I've done
then
that.
you just have to reply immediately.
yeah.
It's like
An obligation thing.
Yeah.
No, the moment I open it, if I did it accidentally, I reply right away.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
Shit.
Otherwise, I just don't reply.
I've had to force that habit of just
Yeah.
not like if I'm not ready to engage, don't open it because I think there's like a little bit of like a weird like it's like opening a package, like opening a notification. It's like, you know, like your phone goes off and it's like,
part of your
what is
brain
it?
like checks something off
Yeah.
that shouldn't be.
That's
and
why
then
I
you
try to like
forget it.
like disallow as many notifications as possible. It's like I do not want notifications. So it's like if there's a notification, it's because it's important. And that's why like when Alex, I did a thing. You ever see his Discord?
Oh,
Like,
I think yeah. I remember
We wrote a piece of software to go and clear his Discord notifications because you could only do DMs manually. You could only
there's no mass way of doing it.
So we did it. We had to like write a little script that would do
To
it.
do
But,
what?
we used an auto clicker. I think we used an auto clicker
to
to
just
delete.
hit like delete.
But then
delete,
for
delete.
notifications, I wrote like a script or something in like, you know, the F12, like in the console in the browser. But if you get a notification that's like a message, don't open it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to immediately reply. So you can kind of get a preview of what it is, and if you realize like, oh, I have to reply to this, then you just let it sit there in your notifications.
I wish there was a setting where you could like set messages to like remind you. Like if you get a
then
text
you're gonna ignore those
and then no, if it comes up like every like 2 hours.
a notification
That's
for your
the-
notification.
Eventually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer it just because
You're fixing the
you know?
symptom of the problem.
Yeah,
Just
I love
don't
fixing
just
symptoms.
don't open it until you're ready to answer.
Text. He just doesn't text.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
that
at the
great
core of it,
at
it's complete disrespect.
Yeah, only for Nigel. That's the thing, Nigel. I've never told you. I only ignore your text messages. Everyone else, I get to immediately.
That means I'm special. And
That's
unique.
why I'll just call over
It
and
means
over.
you're nervous to respond. You're thinking about it so much.
Yeah, I am.
For
I
2
just
months.
want to impress
For
Nigel.
2 months.
It's like the Kevin thing. It's like
You
Kevin,
look
Kevin,
like
Kevin,
Oh,
Kevin,
okay.
Kevin,
Kevin,
Kevin.
Just for my knee.
It's like reminds me of like programming.
I want to blink.
Oh, Alan,
I want to
that
share.
No, I just.
I want to get in
Here
on
you
that.
go, sorry.
Wait, no, but I want to share. I don't want it all to myself.
You can share it with Will.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Just give me a little corner
Yeah,
piece.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just for
just-
Thank you.
security.
Yeah.
For
I always-
security blanket.
I always wanted to learn how to like script things to just do like menial tasks or to like cheat at I don't know
Yeah.
online games.
I'm
or
really
something.
bad at programming.
Just to cheat it
Yeah, me
online
too.
games.
Me too. I've done it for a while.
I feel like it's programming is almost like learning another language where it's a lot of I say vocabulary, but the vocabulary is like
It's
learning.
just syntax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like learning different like libraries or systems or APIs.
See, that's not programming to me.
really.
That's just like a side effect
Yeah.
of things. But programming is more like how you approach a problem. It's very interesting because like recently Alan and I tried to program something.
Mhm.
And we're totally
Oh, God.
different. Like
Oh,
totally,
God.
totally
Oh,
different. The way
no.
we approach problems.
Yeah.
Because I'm more like, just try it. Fuck it. Like just do it.
Yeah.
Do. Just like the one little problem and then expand it. But it's like, we're gonna need a variable because maybe later. And I'm like, I don't care right now. kind of thing.
I'm
So-
just
Alan.
my thing is just I remember like accumulated suffering from other projects. So when I'm like I feel like this is gonna be something that I'm gonna want to change later.
But that's the thing, though.
You give it a
You're
variable
suffering.
name.
You're right. You're suffering
You give
through
it like
it.
a placeholder and like an if statement because you know
Yeah.
at some point down the line you're probably gonna want it in there.
You
No,
can
no.
do like a recursive thing though, where you sort of like program, go down, come back up, fix, go down.
You
It's like
optimize later. So like you do this thing that is actually a term for it. You ain't gonna need it. Don't do it. You might not need it. So like don't do functions just to do functions. Don't do variables just to do variables.
Remember how we
Just-
solved the very last problem though before we tested it
Oh
on
my
a live
God.
human subject, which was Mark Rover. But we added a bunch of booleans together, and that was it. Totally worked.
It
I was like,
worked.
just add them together. If it equals 4, then that's
Yeah,
what
and I was like,
Will's like,
yeah. We didn't test
Yeah,
it, and then we
yeah.
tested it on Mark Rover.
Do you want to talk
to
about what we
shock
did to
him.
Mark Rover?
Yeah. Well, it's this project that I've been wanting to do. It's a very important project to me. It's
Wait,
a
are you guys allowed
video.
to talk about the high level thing at all, or do
This
you
is
want to?
some other project
I think
of
we can
mine
talk
for
about
But it was
whatever.
all part of the same context,
Oh,
right?
really?
Kind of. I mean, well,
The polygraph?
Yeah, like why?
Oh.
What was the overall situation? Can what? How? I mean.
Yeah, I don't care
what
talking
are they
about
gonna
it.
do?
yeah,
Come and
we
kill
we
you?
we have a TV show.
Oh, that
It's coming out in
thing.
like August-ish, I think.
They
Assuming.
don't. Like, yes.
I don't know. They. I don't.
Are we
they don't-
giving them
first of all,
advertising for free right now?
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you're just talking about what you did.
It's an
Yeah, okay,
interesting. I
okay,
think
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
interesting topic,
No, I
and
mean,
also
you're right.
they're never
It's
gonna
been-
see this.
Right.
Spend a lot of time doing this.
How do
Might
you
as well
know?
talk
Mark
about
Rober,
it.
if
Yeah.
Mark Rober sees this, I want you, Mark, to leave a comment.
Yes.
On
That
this
says,
video.
You better.
Big Chungus, dab on the haters. Mark.
Right.
He's
We spend a
never
lot
gonna
of
see
time
this.
doing this. So might as well talk
I
about
mean,
it.
so
Yeah.
the concept of the show is essentially like, it's Mark Rober's glitter bomb idea, but
Social
for a
justice.
season of television. Yeah, it's engineering to like get back at people who sort of violate social norms, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to return your shopping cart. You're supposed to hold the door open for people, and if you don't, then we fucking kill you.
We prank. It's a prank
do
show.
Gentle,
You get
It's a
tased
prank.
with
Gently kill you
Yeah.
to death.
No, it's like a prank show.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun. We filmed from like January through April.
And that's when I sent
Yeah.
Alan that nice
Yeah.
text message because he was just
Oh.
disappeared. But he was too cool now. He's on TV. He's on TV. He doesn't have time for us. And then, like, I get that.
Yeah. Well,
I
okay,
get
that's
it.
like, let me tell you, television is not as good as YouTube. It's like,
Yeah.
it is just a million times better. Just make your own video.
You've done
Yeah,
TV.
there's no
I've done
point.
TV. You've done TV now. Oh, so you've
Yeah.
done the most TV. You have probably not done TV. You were in Home Alone.
I probably
8.
walked behind, like, a camera
It's
that
at
went on
Home Alone.
TV.
Was that this morning? We're on the camera.
No, like, like a news thing, and I'm in the background.
Oh, we
I walk by.
recorded.
That's the most
stuff
TV
for
I've
that
done.
Discovery Plus thing that like never got released or they
Oh,
never used
the
it.
invention thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I got paid and then I got the check late and it had already expired and so I never. It was like
it's like for a couple $100.
yeah, it was a couple $100 and it was really awkward. Like they
Yeah.
didn't. They like just gave you this monumental script and it was like read this and I'm like how am I supposed to
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
just
was a
verbatim?
lot to
There's no
remember.
teleprompter or anything and
That would have been handy. Yeah.
And
It's just TV is just like, I don't know. It's just boomer media.
Yeah, but
No, but
here's the thing. It was my first time,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed making it. I don't know if I want to watch it, but making it
we'll
was
watch
fun.
it. We'll
you
watch
have, you
it.
have to watch
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
guess so. I need to
Yeah.
learn from that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so something that we learned about Mark Rober. I mean,
how many
amongst
things
Many
do we
things,
know?
yeah. First of all, he loves it when you call him Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
He started the Crunch Labs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he
Oh.
loves it.
Well, forget
when you call him Captain
hates
Crunch.
it, so
because
it's fun
he's
to
the
watch him cringe. It's a lot of fun.
He
Yeah.
loves
He
it.
It was this thing where he's been
Loves
working
it.
on it for like the
Loves it.
last 2 or 3
Yeah.
years.
Oh, it's like
It's
that
rude if I
long.
look at
And
my
it was
phone.
like, yeah, and so it was kind of like this realization where I don't think he ever considered that you could call him that. And like, we showed up to his new warehouse. He was like, yeah, we're going to call it Crunch Lab. I was like, oh, that makes you Captain, Crunch.
And
was
he
like,
hated it. He never thought about
It's just like,
Yeah.
no.
it. Yeah. It's
and
great.
he also hates getting shocked, like electrically shocked.
He's a little baby.
To the point where I fake.
I like that.
tased
I
him.
like that. You're like, what a baby. He hates getting shot.
Because
What a
every
baby.
one of us here has tasted the lightning.
I was closer to hit
in
it.
like
Abuse.
multiple forms, right? And I pretended to tase him with a stun gun. And he was like
was
so
crying.
mad and sad. I mean, not
Mad and sad.
Well, yeah, because he
crying like an adult, like, oh,
He was like, no, it went off, and I was like, it was like one of those things where it's
If
like,
you can hear it popping, it's not shocking it.
right. Well, so what I did was I went,
Ah,
grr, I
didn't know
turned it on, and then I pushed it into his arm with my finger off the trigger.
Yeah.
But he insisted that like it had shocked him or that he felt something.
I feel
No,
like,
you'll know.
I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
pointy, you probably poked
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I
and
think
he went
so.
like,
I would describe like the cheap ones. I feel people get. I mean, I don't think anyone who watches this would. Maybe I don't know. A taser and a stun gun are completely different
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
A
technically,
taser does like neurological interference, where it'll actually mess with your like muscle coordination.
Mm-hmm.
A stun gun just feels like someone is like pinching it really hard, or almost like kind of like a needle has gone through.
Yeah, yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
jabbing.
Like
something
yeah,
in
like
the
they've
middle.
kind of like stabbed like through your skin. It doesn't go deep. It's just sort of like between the probes. It feels like a needle has gone through.
and tens units feels like, ooh.
Tens units is tens units is weird.
But
like
I mean,
waves.
so your polygraph was like for Mark was supposed to be what was it?
I
Was like-
shocked him every time he lied.
Yeah, so we had a tens unit because that was like the trick that you and Michael do, which is like it's kind of
Yeah.
like you have a stun gun next to it to like for the
yeah, the
sound and the
visuals,
effect.
yeah.
But then what it means is you can sort of adjust how strong the tens unit is
Yeah.
for like the particular person. So we had Mark on the lowest,
I had
lowest,
it on
lowest
2
setting.
or
Yeah.
something. And then he went like, oh, this is 2. I can handle more. So I
Yeah.
just went to 3. I didn't do more.
The
I just
next
Yeah.
one.
3.
The next
and
one.
he went like, ah! Like he like threw the whole thing.
Yeah, because
Like,
there
I
was he
That's a good reaction.
he was
Yeah.
probed up. He
I
had
mean, it was
like
great on
wires.
video. It was great on video.
Like
but-
stuck to him, and
Yeah.
his arm through the entire machine,
The
like
whole-
across
yeah.
the room, for
Yeah.
going one higher.
So you on the video you have Mark Rober acting like ah to ah!
it was so bad because I remember I was helping you film it. And like I was kind of producing this thing. It was so bad where I was like, this isn't gonna make any sense.
Yeah.
So I got a close-up shot of a Stephanie cranking it all the way up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, otherwise this
Have
isn't
you
gonna
ever?
make any
You've
sense.
done it at like the
Yeah.
10.
Oh yeah, like
Were you
9.
It's
yeah.
bad.
Maker Fair
Really-
years
yeah.
ago with the caja de toques? The
What
thing you
are
can only
those?
buy in Mexico?
Oh, I love those things.
Oh, I saw that video.
I wasn't in the video, but I remember doing
I did that when I was little.
Going all the way up though is like unbearable.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it actually feels like you're being like contorted like, through some magic spell.
With the
Like,
tens unit, the worst thing I did was my dad got us like a massager, right?
Yeah.
So I put it on my hand.
I don't like the way you
here.
said that.
Massager.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't talk about.
I mean, I don't know what else you put it. I put it like here and somewhere else, and I was messing with it, and I accidentally, I don't know, I slipped and I cranked it to 10, but it just closes your
Yeah.
arm.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
now I was
You're like-
holding it. No, but like I'm holding the machine, and now I can't turn it off. So you feel like your arm is breaking itself,
Yeah.
but you can't get to it. That's I have a very vivid like panic.
Memory.
Like panic memory of that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He was like, "That's great."
Oh.
But what was the? Because I remember we were watching Jackass with Mark.
Oh, we
And
made
that
it.
was-
So here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I was like, we're doing a prank show. We should probably watch Jackass to get more vibes. 'Cause
Right.
it
And that's a
felt
little
like-
bit more
yeah.
extreme pranking.
But because like we were filming and it
Yeah.
felt like very tamed and like with the nerve that oh I'm so sorry and I'm like so and we noticed that Jackass was out and I was like Mark we should watch it just as like a work thing to get like pumped.
this is a
And
work
he's
thing.
like-
Yeah.
and he's like yeah totally so I thought he knew what Jackass was. He had
There's also
never
like a lot of
seen it.
nudity in that
A
one.
lot
Oh,
of
tell me
penis.
about it. But like, I really thought he knew what Jackass was, so we made him go watch it. And the first thing that happens is just like a big penis. like,
Yeah,
at
it
the end.
opens.
And I'm like,
opens.
oh yeah, haha. And then I look over and he's like
this.
this the whole movie. He's like
At least he finished it.
yeah, he watched the whole thing. We have video of him as we were laughing. We're
Yeah, because
like,
it's when they were doing the 5 gallons of pig semen.
exactly.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like recording the
Exactly.
screen. I turned
And then
over
turned
Mark
to Mark
is.
going like,
Yeah, he's like,
5 gallons.
yeah, he's why not?
it was.
Yeah. Have
I-
you seen it yet?
No.
Oh, it's great.
great.
It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
That's
did-
a lot of gallons.
Yeah.
I think it just is. I think they come a lot.
Yeah, I know. I think they're. I looked it up. No, I think they explained it in the movie or something.
Yeah.
He looked
They
it
talked
up.
about it. They said it's like the animal that produces like.
Oh,
I think
they probably did.
I think they said they can
Probably.
get like per harvest they can get like an ounce like
Per
they-
jism.
or something or more. I think they said it was some big amount to the point where they're like you just have to do it a lot, but it's like not that crazy. Like that's all I'm saying.
Well,
5
that's
gallons.
How you get
though.
5 gallons. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I'm not pretending to know.
What an excellent way to end a podcast talking about 5 gallons of pig nut. Does it just end after I?
Is that? All right.